Good evening, Americans. I'm your anchor, Andy.
And I'm Vicente, reporting the news of today, the 27th of August in the year 1776.
We are hearing reports of a large battle that has just taken place outside of New York, fought between Generals George Washington of the Continental Army and William Howe of the British Regulars. The British infantry numbered about 20,000, including Hessian mercenaries. With their navy, they numbered over 32,000. The Continental Army fielded about 19,000 infantry.
Unfortunately, our good Minutemen were sadly beaten by superior British tactics and have lost the city to the tea-drinking British. The battle was fought over the valuable port of New York. An unknown source stated that General Washington had the option of pardon, but replied, "Those who have committed no fault want no pardon." Thus, the fighting began.
A tragedy this was. Here's Thomas, our reporter, on the scene to break down the events that transpired here.
I'm standing in the Brooklyn Heights where the British Army has just overrun the Colonial position and are now preparing for a siege on the Brooklyn Heights, where the Continental Army is now retreated to. As you can see from this map, the Americans held positions south of Manhattan, prepared for an attack from the southwest. Howe sent a portion of his army to attack from that direction as a diversion. In reality, his force traveled under the cover of darkness to flank the Colonial position and attack from the east. The Continental Army then retreated to
What
the
a
Brooklyn
setback
Heights. For the young rebel army. Morale must be low. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Thomas. We now have the commander of the Continental Army on with us tonight to discuss what happened during the battle. Please welcome George Washington.
Thank you, Andy. Where do I start? It all went well until Miles reported that a large British force approached the side, which we had left relatively unguarded. It was then I realized my mistake.
I see. How bad are the casualties?
As you may think, Miles's company fought to the last man, saving the bulk of our army with their sacrifice. If they had not done so, I may not be here today.
Where were these men from?
All good men from Maryland. Bless those Catholics.
Indeed. God bless their souls. We've just received a report that out of those 260 men, less than a dozen have survived.
With that, we go back to the battlefield.
Just in here from New York, the Americans withdrew overnight. The British control New York now. The casualties are as follows. For the Americans, 300 killed, 700 wounded, 1,000 captured. For the British, 64 killed, almost 300 wounded.
This is a dark day for those hopeful patriots.
I agree. Many people who thought this may be a quick and easy affair against the British have been proven wrong today.
Heaven forbid we lose this war and face the king's wrath.
That's all for tonight. Thanks for watching the Colonial News Network. Over and out.